Theory, awareness, strong weak acid, mono triprotic. Student, you realize so far all the acid molecule will have one rule. They will give out the H plus ion, or you call ionize the H plus. So when a molecule they give out one H plus, we call monoprotic, one proton acid, monoprotic. But soon you're going to see some molecule, they will give out two H plus. In one molecule, they give out two H plus. This is called diprotic. And you also will see some molecule. In one molecule, they can give out 3 H plus. One acid molecule give out 3 H plus, and we call it triprotic. Keep this in mind. Strong acid, weak acid. What is strong acid? What is weak acid? And what is the difference? Let's explain. Look at the strong acid. HCl, H2SO4, HNO3. They all will have one thing in common. They will give out the H plus ion completely as ionized. So they will all completely ionize the H plus. Then how about a weak acid? Weak acid will be only partially ionized as follows. So strong acid will completely give out the H plus ion. Weak acid will only partially half give, half not give out this H plus ion. And that is the definition of strong acid and weak acid. Please keep this in mind very firmly. Strong acid is completely ionized in aqueous solution, and weak acid is only partially ionized in aqueous solution. What does that mean? Now look onto the strong acid, the top. They completely ionize. Here I put 7 acid molecules. Once I put in water, they all separate. So how many H plus ion now? You will have 7. At bottom, weak acid, I also put 7 acid molecules. But how many ionize? Only 1 or 2. The remaining still as an acid molecule did not separate. In equation, let's look. Strong acid like HCl, they will completely separate into ion as a H plus ion and a Cl minus ion. Weak acid, they only partially, only some of them will be separated as a H plus ion and the other remain unseparated. Student, you might start to struggle with the equation. Now let's generalize. On the strong acid, this molecule containing a H will separate into a H plus and a OH minus. How about weak acid? Oh, do I writing the same thing? Look, what's the difference? Watch. That is the different equilibrium. So, you can see strong acid and weak acid, they have the same equation. The only difference is a single arrow and a reverse arrow. Reverse arrow indicates some reaction will go reverse. Say if you have 10 pieces, 9 will be still contained here as a molecule. Only 1 as ionized. If you have 10 molecules on top, 10, they all will become 10 ionized. So keep this in mind. The way to write strong acid, single arrow. The way to write partial ionized, double arrow. Now let's look onto another word, concentrate dilute, which is different from strong weak. Strong and weak of acid. We're talking about how is the acid H plus ionized. But concentrate dilute is talking about the particle, the molecule itself. Do not confuse. Let's explain. On these 4 pictures, let's look onto the top one. They both are concentrate. As we look onto the molecule, not the H plus. As you see, the molecule. This is the molecule. This is the molecule. I'm not talking about the H plus ion. Okay, so on the top one, they are a concentrate in solution. How about the bottom one? They are a dilute in solution. So concentrate dilute focus on the particle, the molecule. How about strong weak? Look onto the top. We talk ionized. So the first picture, only few of them become ionized. This ionized, this ionized, this ionized. The remaining not ionized. So you can say in this picture, they are weak acid. They are concentrate and is weak. The next picture here, they are, look, they ionize, 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 ionize. They all ionize. So this one is concentrate and is a strong acid. Remember, weak acid partially ionized. Strong acid completely ionized. Look at bottom. They both are dilute, but this is a weak dilute. You see, only one being ionized, the remaining still a molecule form. So this is a weak and dilute acid. Look onto the next one. They also dilute, but this one is strong. Complete ionized, as to the rest, completely ionized. So this is a strong dilute acid. Student, please understand and clear about the concentrate dilute is talk the particle. Strong and weak is talking about fully or partially ionized of H plus ion. So now we look back onto this monoprotic, diprotic, triprotic. Each one, if you study detail, you find HCl, it is a strong mono. CH3COOH, ethanoic acid, they are also mono, but this is a weak mono. They only partially ionize. Diprotic. H2SO4 is a strong diprotic. The bottom one, H2CO3, is a weak diprotic. Last one, citric acid. It is a weak triprotic. Student, you may confuse about when it's going to be mono or di, when it's going to be strong and weak. This is all based on the nature of the molecule itself. Like HCl, it is a mono and it is a strong. Like ethanoic acid, the bottom one, it is a mono too, but it is weak. So you need to know the nature of that molecule. Out of these 5 are the common molecule that you should know by nature. Like sulfuric acid, once you see sulfuric acid, you know this is a strong acid, it is a diprotic. And like H2CO3, you need to know this is a weak acid and it also is a diprotic. So these 5 molecules, students are required to know the nature of it.